Wow, we got famous people in our
Simon
studio.
Pegg and Nick Frost.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Look at you guys.
How are you?
Good, very well.
I gotta put these on.
Very well. Yeah.
Look at, you don't want to be here. Relax,
Yeah, put the
man.
headphones on.
It's all right.
We've just been listening to the tirade that's going on in this place.
Yeah.
We've had a little episode on radio
Yeah,
here
we heard.
in the U.S. And you know how us Americans are, very oversensitive about things. Why can't we just take whatever crap is being said and just forget about it?
Well, you guys have the racial tension in England, right? With isn't it more with like Muslims? That's kind of like the black-white tension here.
I think there's racial tension everywhere. You know, we just got to be, think carefully about what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I think if you launch into some racial tirade and then say, "I'm only kidding," it doesn't make it okay.
Right. But I mean, you heard I said one little off-color thing. And
Do you know what? I don't even know who Imus is. So.
Oh, he's a big radio morning guy here.
Right.
And he just made like a tasteless joke about black people, which is a sin in this country, because we're paying for 400 years of naughtiness.
Naughtiness.
Well, I think, but we all kind of are. And we shouldn't, we should kind of accept that, I think.
Yeah, but we can...
I mean, I know it's not your fault personally.
Yeah.
But you can understand why people get sick of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes and no.
I think there's that kind of white, angry guilt where, hey, it's not our fault. But I mean,
yeah.
suck it up. Do you know what I mean?
But then there's the other side, too, where you kind of sit there and go, all right, you guys are joking about it. Why can't we?
Yeah, but was he joking about it? Was he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
laughing when he said it.
Was it comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was trying to be funny.
Who laughed?
I think it
howled.
I think it kind of, it didn't go over well. It wasn't a hysterical gut-buster joke.
It was a throwaway line, and then people in studio laughed.
I think we're just pissed off because kind of black people are kind of... I think they're allowed to be a little bit annoyed. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind being... I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I love when he kind of hacks on us a little bit, and I think, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
It's not racism, it's just kind of it's kind of comedy pissed offness.
Yeah, no one goes crazy, though. No one goes, oh my God, Dave Chappelle's making fun of white people.
Be pissed off at black people, has he?
But he's not pissed off at black people. It wasn't based out of anger. It was just a funny line. It was just a line meant to be funny. The intent was not to be... They didn't catch him off air dropping N-bombs. He just said something on air. He was kind of like tagging a line that somebody else had used. It was like a natural flow of conversation.
Do you think he does drop N-bombs off there?
I hope so. I certainly
Off air?
Constantly.
Constantly.
How can you not?
This is the comedy again.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, you have a
It's
dry-
all fine.
I'm only kidding. Well, these guys aren't here to talk about racism and the state of the world today.
Yeah,
We're here to talk about our film, Hot Fuzz.
I know.
Yes.
I saw it.
Did you?
Yes.
You saw Hot Fuzz already?
Saw a little advanced screening.
Nice.
I
like
did,
your,
at home.
your initiative.
I thought it was hysterical. Totally different from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Your character, very different. You play like one of these real kind of
Super cop.
super cop guys.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you're kind of a fun-loving, kind of innocent guy in Shaun of the Dead.
I figured I had to play somebody a bit different in this, do you know what I mean? Because I played a couple of slackers, and I thought, right, let's play a super cop. Badass.
Yeah, badass. And I gotta say, I won't give away, of course, the end of the movie, but there is a gun sequence in there that I was not expecting. I was like, wow, these guys spent some money on this movie or something.
But we're massive fans of American action films and the kind of cop genre, and we thought, wouldn't it be funny if we took that and we stuck it into a little English village?
Yeah.
And had things blow up there instead of the streets of LA or New York.
Yeah, because usually there's huge cities and the cops running around and things are blowing up and car chases and gunfights. And it's just this small, quaint little English village.
Yeah, we don't have any, a tradition of cop films in the UK because our cops aren't armed, right? They just...
Yeah.
They have sticks.
It's kind of silly.
You guys laugh at that, but it takes a lot of balls to walk into a bad neighborhood with a stick.
Yeah.
Right? And not with a gun on your hip. But it means that filmically, it's not so good for kind of action adventure.
Yeah.
Hitting each other with sticks. It doesn't give the same...
You can't have a slow motion. No!
Yeah.
And the guy gets hit with a little stick. It kind of takes away from the climax of the whole thing.
Shoulder.
Shaun of the Dead, of course. You had done movies before that?
No, we had a sitcom on British television.
Yeah,
Space.
that was it.
I'd done a couple of movies, but not like the scale of Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that one really hit a nerve. I mean, total cult following here in the States.
That's
and
great, yeah.
People watch it 10 times. It's one of those movies you just watch over and over again and still laugh your ass off. A fan of the zombie genre, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, there were so many little homages to all the old zombie movies. Where'd that come from?
We're a huge zombie fan. I remember I made Nick up here Say hi.
Hey. Nick Frost.
I, as a zombie in 1994 for Halloween, and 10 years later we were here promoting our big zombie film, which was quite a nice little circular journey, wasn't it?
Yeah, I still got the makeup on.
You guys stand-ups too? Do you start as stand-ups?
I was a stand-up, yeah. I was a stand-up for about 10 years, and then got back into... I got into acting through that, got the sitcom, you know, and I still love doing stand-up, but it's just... you can't do both, do you know what I mean? Because your whole weekends you work Thursday to Sunday, and you got to spend... Basically, when you're a stand-up, you spend all weekend in a pub and not drink.
Yeah.
Unless you're a drinking stand-up, but I find it would dull my edge if I drunk. Do you know what I mean?
You have two types of stand-ups: guys that have no alcohol at all, or the guys that you're peeling off the floor every night at 3 o'clock in the morning.
But I think the guys that drink, stand-ups that drink, think they're funnier than they are. Do you know what I mean? You know when you get a bit drunk and you think, I said something really funny last night, and you read what you wrote, scroll down, and you think, no, that's rubbish. And it's the same as, you know, I think it's always better to stay a little sharp. Also, you've got to be on the ball, to, you know, with the audience, because if they're coming back at you, you need to be sharp. So
you can't just go,
yeah.
Leave it at that.
Because they're the worst hecklers are drunk people. Yeah, get off, you idiot! And you come back with some line, no, I didn't hear you. You know, it's kind of like...
yeah, it's not going to work.
You know what's even worse to the audience? When somebody heckles you and you destroy them, but the audience didn't quite hear what they said, and then the audience sides with them, you just blowtorch the entire room.
Absolutely.
How'd you get the like idea for Shaun of the Dead, and like get the cat, like, because it's one of those things where, I want to make a movie. And then,
well, we were doing our show Spaced, and there was a little scene in it when I was kind of lost on in a video game. My character had been up all night on speed and kind of was playing Resident Evil and sort of got sucked into the game. And we had such fun shooting the zombie bit. Me and Edgar Wright, who's the director and co-writer, said, let's make a film. Let's see if we can make a film. So we took the idea around. Eventually it got picked up by Working Title and Universal, and we got it made. And it was luck. It was, you know, a lot of luck involved, but we got there.
And the writing of it, now you wrote it with
Edgar.
Edgar. Because I noticed it wasn't like just a traditional little comedy on the zombie thing. It was actually like, you know, your character is very sensitive, and there were some like touching moments that were like sad. It's like to decide to bring that into a comedy zombie movie, I thought was a little odd, but it definitely worked.
Yeah, you know what? You know when you have those films that are like, that are just, I don't know, this sort of spoof movies like Epic Movie or whatever, they really do exist joke to joke, right? So if one joke fails, the whole thing fails. Whereas if you have like some story underneath and some characters and something to invest yourself in, you can go off joke a little while and actually get things a little bit emotional. And then, so when I have to shoot my mum, it's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what it was. It was like he's sitting there going, oh my God, the guy's got to shoot his mother. She's a zombie. And, you know, he's yelling at the other guy not to shoot her, and he's crying and everything.
Yeah. It's just good to keep people on their toes, you know.
A good dynamic.
There's no like the Naked Guns have no moments like that because it's all just boom, 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 parody.
They're the best. I mean, they're the kind of best examples of those. Like the Zucker brothers, like Airplane, you know, Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles. Brilliant, because they are all the jokes pretty much hit. Whereas, you know, because as that sort of that kind of movie gets a bit diluted, it gets, you know, less and less of a hit rate. So anyway, so with Hot Fuzz, we kind of try and do the same thing, make something that could actually exist without the jokes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, and you definitely pull it off.
Even though there's loads of jokes in there. Don't get me wrong, it's really funny.
Yeah.
But if you took it out of that, it could just be like a genuine action movie.
Well, it's like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think is a great comedy with Steve Martin, who I think sucks now, but back then he was great with John Candy. And there's some like really like weird, kind of depressing moments.
Hey, John Candy really tugs the heartstrings in that movie.
Yeah.
Just a big fat sad man.
Yeah, you can make fun of me.
Eyes filled with tears. Go on, I'm an easy target. Fat head and awful mustache, the greatest.
He was fantastic.
Now, what about direction? Who directed?
Edgar Wright is my sort of co-writer, and Nick is always the kind of the first guy that gets the script, and we write for Nick in mind, for me and Nick to be in it together, and then we bring everyone else in. So with Shaun of the Dead, we had a kind of, you know, it was a group of about 6 survivors in that, but with Hot Fuzz, there's like 50 speaking parts, and you know, Timothy Dalton's in it, and Jim Broadbent, and Edward Woodward, and Billy Whitelaw, and you know, these kind of legends of the British sort of screen industry.
Yeah, there's just like, it's a very unique look to the movies too. The direction.
Yeah.
You know, some of those, the way the camera pushes in, a lot of quick cuts. That, and it makes it work. Definitely.
I got
6,000 cuts in this film.
It's 6,000.
Yeah. Epileptics beware.
Yeah, you get a Pokemon seizure.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, I'm sorry, did you start out like as an actor or as a sketch guy or like what is your?
No, I was just a waiter, and he made me do it.
How great is that?
He was. I found him working in a restaurant.
Really?
I said, I can take you away from all this.
What was it about him when you saw him?
I was just
look at him.
A lot of sexual chemistry.
I was just I'll get you in movies.
Exactly. I was a stand-up comic, and he was the funniest guy I knew, and I was hanging out with stand-up comics, and you know, he was just the guy that worked in a restaurant, and I kind of introduced him to stand-up thinking, I mean, you kind of wanted to do it a little bit, didn't you? You sort of as a way out of waiting.
Yeah. I didn't really want to be a waiter forever. I didn't really know what to do apart from that. But it was, I did 10 gigs and 5 were amazing, where I was hailed as the new Christ, and the other 5 were that was the lowest points of my career.
Of your life.
Of my life.
So when we came to do our sitcom, I said, look, do it this way, be in it. And I wrote him a part of a character that he kind of came up with. And it took off from there. And, you know, it's like 10 years later, and he's got his own show and everything.
How long were you guys on in England for?
How long
were you on for? Yeah. How many years?
Oh, the show.
Yeah.
Oh, it ran for 2 seasons, and then we did Shaun of the Dead, and then we kind of had to leave it behind in a way. And it's the question we get asked the most: is they're going to do a 3rd season of Space? Because people have found it here as well. You can't get it Region 1 DVD here, but people can import it, and they, you know, have regionless DVDs and stuff. But I think it's going to get released here on DVD.
You know, I saw was pretty funny in England. I really enjoyed was Alan Partridge.
Yeah, I was in that.
Were you in that?
Yeah, I was in an episode of Alan Partridge.
I like season 2 better because the first season was he's just on his show.
That's right.
And season 2, what an ass he was. He was just really a funny
brilliant
guy.
character. I don't know if you remember the episode where they drop a cow on him from a bridge. Some farmers are protesting because he said, weirdly enough, he said some controversial things about farming, about like, was it genetically modified swans,
hens,
whose necks have been bred to be fit in a baguette.
Big-eyed boy.
And so these farmers drop a cow on him from a bridge. But I was in that episode, and I was only like 27, and it was one of my first TV shows, and it was with Coogan, who's an amazing sort of comedy actor, and he's in Hot Fuzz.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a funny dude.
He's very funny.
When does Hot Fuzz open?
420. I think you know what we're saying.
420.
Enjoy the day.
Gotcha.
This is how stupid I am. You said 420, and I'm such a nerd. I didn't catch it. I'm like,
you looked at your watch.
What a cool way to say April. What a dope. I didn't catch him saying that. And I apologize to Nick because I asked for a picture, but I looked at you and I looked at the other guy who you were with. That fell in the back. So my apologies.
VJ
the Bone.
VJ the Bone Carbone. He's looking after us.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vij. So yeah, go see, because it'll be a great day.
It will.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I saw it. It was really funny.
What's been weird is to some marijuana, head out, eat a burrito.
You guys get stoned and wine, like, right? I mean, a lot of people do it.
The patron saint of hamburgers.
I wouldn't like to say, really.
That's definitely not enough.
A man of mystery. You know what's weird is that we'd been doing this tour of the US, showing the film and stuff, and the film did great did amazingly. We broke records in the UK. It's kind of like the 6th biggest opening ever in the UK.
Wow.
And yet the audiences here seem to get it more than the British audiences.
Yeah.
Because I think they get what we've adopted more. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like an American sort of format, the whole action.
Right, the action thing.
It's an American film.
Yeah.
And they've been getting it so... It's been crazy. It's been great. It's like being in a rock band.
Do you have to go through gun training and stuff?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Not
That's
that we needed
Is
to.
he pulling out again?
Going for one.
Back in! And ask that question, he goes in. Pulls out a phone.
I just got a
Yeah, because he got pretty proficient with the guns in that
I
movie.
usually just have a little revolver in my, you know. It's
He keeps a revolver in his sock anyway.
Yeah,
Don't want to mess up the line or the cut of it.
You don't want somebody to rob you for it either. You get a polo jacket in the city.
Exactly. It's nice to be able to come over here and pack heat. You know, we don't get that. We don't get that.
You don't get that in England. No, they don't let you.
Giving them on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't really
Sign your
kind of frown on that.
declaration form.
You pick them up at immigration, you get given that and your little green thing in your passport.
Hey, in England, I've never worked over there. Is there any, like, here we know with, like, the certain things in comedy, whether it's in films, here's mostly racial stuff, it's just people panic about. Is there anything with you guys that's more cultural for you that is just a no-no in comedy, or something that people are really going to give you a problem with?
I think it's the same. I think pretty much it's just, you know, it's just taking responsibility for what you say. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it depends what you're trying to... I think it's always good to make people think, I think it's always good to sort of inspire debate as well. I think if this fella on the radio, if he was saying that to kind of try and get a big debate going and make something good happen, then great. Do you know what I mean? Comedy's a great way of sort of rehearsing real ideas, but ultimately, I don't know. Let's agree to disagree on that one.
Hey, it's your line.
I like that. I love that line. Gets you out of anything.
Yeah. Like,
all right.
Hey, guys, 420.
420.
Big plug.
Hot Fuzz will change your life, and I guarantee if you go with somebody on a date, they will have sex with you afterwards.
Absolutely.
They'll be that amped up.
You can
I'm
take
going
that
to take Jimmy.
It's funny, you just stole the joke that of course, Mudbrain didn't think of, but I was going to point at Kenny and say I was going to take him, but you pointed at me because I'm here, which worked.
Kenny actually was a cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and believe me...
NYPD?
No, he was Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jersey.
We've seen Copland. We know it.
He got thrown off.
What did you get thrown off for?
For getting on stage and telling dirty jokes. No shit.
Naughty
cop. I just cursed. I thought I was on XM for a second. I dropped the S-bomb. Oops.
Now you're in trouble.
I know.
You're fired.
Somebody with a button in the back that just dumps out of that. Because God forbid the children hear that.
I know. They're all saying that.
We heard some CBS guys talking. They're thinking of releasing some gas in here to purge your sin.
Yeah, you guys picked a weird day to come in. I mean, we're big fans, but we're pretty heated about what's going on.
Oh my God, huge.
Because it affects everyone that does this type of radio.
The radio.
You guys
So
get
we've been all over it all day.
recognized everywhere now?
Yeah.
A bit.
It's weird.
Especially together, it must just be insane.
Yeah, I think it kind of completes a little sort of jigsaw. And it's nice though, everyone that sort of comes up is always really friendly, and comedy fans are always sort of good people. I think they kind of want to laugh, so they're nice folks.
Yeah, you guys get like there's the little catchphrases and stuff that Americans love using, because all the time now, whenever the phone's busy, it's engaged, because we never use it. It's like it's busy.
Oh, really?
Or something like that, or I'll pick up a bit of wood, chase you around with a bit of wood. That's fun things to say if you're American.
Queue up, right? Then you
Queue up, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? We kind of speak the same language, but we don't in a way.
But we don't, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to imitate. Do English people just imitate stupid American words and accents? Do you
Hell
go
yeah!
doing American accents all the time? Because Americans seem to just want to go around and go, oh, where are you going?
And there's a funny thing with the Brit. So many people here, and often girls will, I just love your accent.
Yeah.
It's great. And you're like, what? Because they think you sound like a prince or something.
That's what it is. It puts you on this little higher plateau. It doesn't matter. You could be a homeless English guy and just be like,
we do lay on quite thick.
Yes, we do walk.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Good morning, madam.
Great.
we are leaving. That's why you hear the music.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
With Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in theaters Friday, April the 20th, which is a week from Friday. It's called Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
So go see it.
Ant Sutter already loved it.
Yeah. If you like Shaun of the Dead, man.
It's going to be another hit for these guys.
Love it.
Thank you guys for coming in.
You guys go have a lie down, okay?
Thanks,
Calm down.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a lie down.
See ya.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, thank you so much. If you're not joining us over at XM, have a great day.
But we all kind of are, and we shouldn't, we should kind of accept that, I think.
Yeah, but we can.
I mean, I know it's not your fault personally.
Yeah.
But you can understand why people get sick of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes and no.
I think there's that kind of white, angry guilt where, hey, it's not our fault. But I mean,
Yeah.
suck it up. Do you know what I mean?
But then there's the other side, too, where you kind of sit there and go, all right.
Wow, we got famous people in our
Simon
studio.
Pegg and
Good
Nick
morning.
Frost.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Look at you guys.
How are you?
Good, very well.
I gotta put these on.
Very well. Yeah.
Look at you, don't want to be here. Relax,
Yeah, put the
man.
headphones on.
It's all right.
We've just been listening to the tirade that's going on in this place. We've had a little episode on radio here
we heard.
in the U.S. And you know how us Americans are, very oversensitive about things. Why can't we just take whatever crap is being said and just forget about it?
Well, you guys have the racial tension in England, right? With isn't it more with like Muslims? That's kind of like the black-white tension here.
I think there's racial tension everywhere. We just got to be, think carefully about what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I think if you launch into some racial tirade and then say, I'm only kidding, it doesn't make it okay.
Right. But I mean, you heard I just said one little off-color thing. And
Do you know what? I don't even know who Imus is. So.
he's a big radio morning guy here.
Right.
And he just made like a tasteless joke about black people, which is a sin in this country, because we're paying for 400 years of naughtiness.
Naughtiness.
Well, I think,
You guys are joking about it. Why can't we?
Yeah, but was he joking about it? Was
Oh
he?
yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
laughing when he
It's
said
very
it.
obvious.
Was it
a little
comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was trying
I
to
don't-
be funny.
Who laughed?
I think it.
howled.
I think it kind of, it didn't go over well. It wasn't a hysterical gutbuster joke.
It was
but-
a throwaway line, and then people in studio laughed.